Hey everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 Hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant-based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and to get with alkalinity, and you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically. Set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So today I'm going to talk a little bit on past lives and how we or why we can't actually remember our past lives, even though we have lived many lifetimes, So I'm going to go into why we can't remember our past lives, and I'm going to go into how to actually open up remembrance of past lives, but just very briefly, okay, only because I can do another video on how to actually do this, but let's get right into it. Okay, so today's video is why we can't remember our past lives. So why can't we remember our past lives, right? Everybody has lived many lifetimes, okay? And we've all lived in accordance to a specific karmic path that we're still carrying out throughout this very moment, right? So the thing about it is that we've lived many lifetimes, but we have no recollection, or we have no remembrance of these past lives, right? If you go to any average person on the street and you ask them about their past life, chances are they're not going to be able to tell you anything about it. They're probably going to look at you very confused, and this is the case for most people. Now, the reason why we can't actually remember our past lives, even though we have lived multiple lives, is because the experiences of the past lives themselves, they're pretty much blocked. They're blocked off to us on a conscious level. They're staying in the unconscious only because if we knew about our past lives, it would stir up a whole mess of trouble in our karmic path. Meaning, if we were to remember our past lives consciously, then we would start getting very confused within this life. We would start living as though we were a completely different person in a completely different life. And this would cause trouble to our karmic path. It would start bringing about more entanglement. Even though it can lead, or it comes with liberation in a way. So the thing about it is that it's like it's staying. All the experiences of our past lives, or even our future lives, they're all in the unconscious. Okay, they're I want to say below the threshold level of consciousness, or they're being blocked off by the threshold level of consciousness. So we're not sensitive enough. We're not receptive enough to what we were experiencing, or how we were stimulated within these past lives. So it all comes with like, I want to say, a unconsciousness. The fact that we're unconscious, is why we can't remember our past lives. But it needs to be this way, because if it isn't, and we do start remembering our past lives, it's going to cause a lot of trouble to this current life that we're living. We will become very, very confused. You know, we'll start living as though we're multiple different people. You know, like schizophrenia. You know, this can be maybe I want to say a symptom of coming into your past lives, or at least expressing um, your past life stimuli, you know, or your past life experiences, acting as multiple different people within one body, you know, because what that is your is multiple lives that you lived as a soul, trying to express itself, or each are trying to express themselves out in this individual life, you know. So you can see the confusion that can come with this, you know. So this is why your body, it naturally keeps your past lives unconscious, because if you were completely conscious of them, once again, it creates a whole bunch of entanglement, you know. And your body, in order to express itself, or enable, or in order for the body to function as fluently or as fluidly as possible, it needs to not be entangled within what you previously lived, you know. But it is using the information that you picked up in those past lives, or the experience on an unconscious level, to pretty much direct you into a expansion of consciousness, because this is all it is this is all it is. It's all an expansion of consciousness. This is why you live so many different lifetimes, because you're learning lessons. In one lifetime, you could have been you could have been let's say a world leader, you know, or even like somebody who brought great genocide. You can be at this extremity of it, and then in another life you can be complete angelic, you know. You can be an angel, you know. So what your soul does, it puts you in the flesh, and what it does is it allows the experience to carry itself out, no matter what the experience is. And then once that experience, that physical experience, comes to an end, you can either decide to continue reincarnating into the flesh in order to continue expanding your soul, or your consciousness, which is pretty much soul growth, and then you continue doing this, you know, until you have a certain until you grow in a certain dimension, you know. And the reason why we can't remember our past lives is because if we were able to remember our past lives, it would start to get messy, you know. Like it's starting to look at the underside of the tapestry, as Alan Watts said, you know. Getting into that, you know, and it can get very, very entangled, because that's what it is. It's just entanglement, you know. If you look at the backside of the stitching, or whatever it may be, it's all it's very out of order, you know. It's very chaotic, and it's hard to keep track of. But this is the reason why we can't remember our past lives, because it's getting into that chaos, you know. And that's pretty much why we can't remember our past lives. Some individuals can remember their past lives, and usually the people who are able to remember their past lives are enlightened beings, you know. And this is their role. Their role is to pretty much help people understand that we have lived past lives, you know. And they're the people, or they're the people who have dissolved away their ego, you know, so that they're able to remember their past lives, and then they're able to enlighten others, because they have been enlightened, you know. They can remember their past lives, and they're allowed to live in that chaos, you know, very, very fluently, in order to help other people understand that these dimensions exist in the first place, you know. And then in coming into contact with these enlightened beings, it opens up the potential for you on some other life, or in some other life, or in this life, to actually liberate yourself as well, or even become subtly enlightened in order to remember at least a few past life, you know, or at least the one. Um, and this is what I want to say transcendence is all about. Whenever you come to transcend the physical body or just physical experience in itself, it opens up, allowing you to remember your past lives, you know. So it comes with sadhana, you know. It comes with unification. It comes with dissolving away the ego. It comes with making the unconscious conscious. Okay, it comes with all of this, but doing all of this is not it's not something that is done by everybody, you know, because people are occupied with physical experience, and everybody's on their own soul journey, you know. So some people can be more progressed when it comes to transcending physical experience or the Maya, and other peoples are occupied by the Maya, or they're living within the Maya, you know. So it can be this way. Now, in order to remember your past lives, what you have to do is you have to transcend the Maya in itself. You have to transcend physical experience. You have to dive into the underside of things, you know. You have to dive into the inner workings of things. You got to go into the metaphysics of it. You got to make the unconscious conscious. And once again, it's not for everybody, okay. And it's something that you can't even always control. It's more of like universal flow type of thing, you know. It's like coming into synchronicity with the fact that your soul is ready to be able to transcend physical experience in the first place, you know. And this is something that takes lifetimes, you know. It doesn't take one lifetime. It can happen in one lifetime, but it also can take many lifetimes. So it's of an eternal nature, you know. It's getting into eternities. And this is why the Buddhists, they say that liberation, it takes lifetimes. It doesn't happen in one life. It can happen in one life, but it doesn't always happen in one life. So it can take an eternity. And this is why they say you have eternity to liberate yourself, you know, because it's involved in your multiple lives that you have lived, you know. And liberation or transcending the flesh isn't for everybody. It's only for the spirits or the souls who are ready to be able to do this. And it's not even something you always decide, because you're not somebody who actually exists. You're just because what we really are is the universal energy, you know. So it's you don't decide at all. It's more something that happens to you, you know. It's the happening, the eternal flow. It's the Tao. But that's a little bit on how you are, why you can't remember any of your past lives, even though you have lived past lives, and how to transcend or how to remember your past lives through transcendence of the flesh or the Maya, the illusion, the matrix, or even making the unconscious conscious as well, because it's all within the unconscious. Every life you have lived is within the unconscious, because the unconscious is literally like super consciousness. But because it's super consciousness, we need not always be focused on it, because it's something that's carrying itself out, an eternal flow. Okay, the Tao. Spatial spatial awareness also. As you generate more spatial awareness, I want to say the more you dive into how deeply spatial awareness can be expanded, is also how you're gonna be able to start remembering your past lives. You can start reading or tuning into or accessing the Akashic records, which is pretty much translating to spatial records. And once you strengthen your ability to do this, which takes a lot to be able to do that, you know, to access the Akashic records and actually read them, you know. But once you're able to do that, you're gonna start being able to remember your past lives, you know, because what you're doing when you're accessing the Akashic records, you're reading the space, you're reading the ether or the Akash, what is taking place within the space. You know, it's like being able to go to a new property, right? And just taking one look at the house and instantly knowing what has taken place in that, on that land, you know, because what you're doing is you're reading the space, you're reading the ether or the Akash, and all experience that is taking place on that specific land is contained within the space, because it's pretty much permeating the four physical elements, and the land is built up off of these, you know. So if you're able to read the ether or access the Akashic records, you'll be able to start translating your past life experiences, you know. But it takes mastery in itself. um, it's very, very I don't want to say unexplainable, but it can be explained. It's just very, very hard, you know. It takes I want to say a higher dimensional understanding to be able to explain it, that I don't even have diction for all the time. I can only put it into very, very minuscule translations in itself, you know. But I've had some subtle experiences of being able to pull experience from the ether or the Akashic records and translating them into English to where I'm able to understand. But it takes like I want to say stillness or meditativeness, definitely meditativeness. Some people have this naturally, though. They don't even need to be meditating, you know, close-eyed. They can just pull from the ether like that naturally, you know. So it's just, it all comes with your soul, you know, um, and where you are in your soul journey. So yeah, I'm gonna actually end it right there. I don't want to make the video too long. That's a little bit on why you can't actually remember your past lives, but how to come into remembering your past lives. Okay, I'll do an in-depth on I want to say remembering your past lives, so we can get a little bit of a better understanding on how to get into remembering past lives. Okay, but it's gonna be it for today. So I do thank everybody for watching, and I hope you did enjoy the video today. One love, peace out. Make sure to generate some static electricity from the etheric body as well, and enjoy your afternoon.